Hello and welcome to another episode of the Whiskey House Pub House. Today might be one of the only few scenarios where that name
doesn't work very well
for our subject matter. We are doing today some fantastic. I'm super excited, looking forward to the subject matter that we have today. We are going to be talking about tequilas and the history of how that song was written and how the creator of that song came and thought of the lyrics for the song Tequila, and then how that song transmitted into spirits, creating the formation of tequila as a liquor identity. And to explain all of that to us, we have the foremost expert on the history of tequila, the tequila shot, the reason why tequila is in skull decanters, gun decanters, and why it is the perfect spirit for shooting. Carter.
That's not at all what I have written.
Is that not?
I mean, some of it
Because that was this is all my predetermined knowledge.
I thought that's all tequila was.
Yeah, that's all it is.
Are you saying that there's an alternate history of tequila?
I'm saying there's more to tequila than just that.
I can't even imagine that.
I know, it's crazy.
I thought we were talking about houses.
You know what else is crazy though? The segue to the intro.
And we're back.
I was crazy once. They put me in a room.
A rubber room with rats.
The rats drove me crazy. I was crazy once. It's so stupid.
What is that from?
I don't know.
I saw it on TikTok, and it was imprinted in my brain at the very moment.
Yeah, it's a TikTok thing.
But what isn't crazy is the information we're about to learn. Carter, get going.
Well, I don't want to cut into his outline, but like, what's what's our thoughts previously on tequila?
I
like tequila.
I have never. Our good friend, I was talking with him a while ago, and he mentioned that tequila is like the one liquor that he doesn't get a hangover from.
He used to say that about everything. He used to just say he didn't.
Yeah. Now that you say that is a good point. But in this specific conversation, he mentioned that tequila was something he didn't get a hangover from. And I took that to heart, and I drank a lot of tequila. I got a headache. I didn't feel good. But I really liked the flavor. Recently, Carter and I have enjoyed. We went on a night out at a friend's house, and we had some tequila and some mezcal and one sotol. And I thoroughly enjoyed all of them, but I actually thought tequila was the most defined and not very like explorative. Like all of them tasted similar to each other. And that makes sense because it's Blue Añejo.
It's Mexican bourbon.
It's Mexican. It's Mexican bourbon.
Mexican bourbon. That's actually interesting to say that because it was a Mexican bourbon at one point, but we'll carry on.
Well, actually, what I realized is looking through a lot of these websites, like going on their website, looking at each individual brand and their story, which for what I could find, because some of them were not as descriptive or didn't have it. Yeah, as transparent on their, how they started.
Processes.
Depending on whatever it is, where some are more, a lot of them use, there's like one specific blue agave plant that they use, and I think it was the Weber blue agave, something like that. It's like specifically that one is what they use.
And I've heard that, like mezcal, like the cousin to tequila or whatever, you'll see different types of agave plants used, but that's the one thing I know about tequila is it has to use the blue agave plant.
Yep. That is the one thing that it has to do.
But I mean, as far as myself is like predetermined notions on tequila, it's like, I haven't had much. I I think we talked about having him on. I don't know why we didn't, but we were talking about having Hunter on, I think, at some point, and we just forgot about it. At least I did. But he was into tequila, and then I think got into mezcal a little bit after that. It's all pretty much. There's definitely subtle differences I would give, but the time I've had spent with tequila, I haven't been able to find anything that's
drastically different for
itself. Myself personally.
Yeah, I feel the same. I would say that the subtle differences, it's just the quality of the tequila.
That's the problem. Is you can't find. It's hard to find sometimes quality tequila because they make a lot of cheap tequila, and the more expensive stuff is going to be nicer, but people sometimes just don't want to spend that because they think of it as a party drink.
Yeah, and also it does taste. The core taste is the same between a nice añejo or a nice reposado and a cheap añejo and a cheap reposado.
Yeah, to some degree. There's a little bit more, like you kind of could taste it. It's a little bit better, like more refined.
Yeah, that's what I mean. It's just what words though, other than better. You're not adding totally new flavors.
Better.
You're not changing the core.
Faster.
Like with bourbon,
stronger.
You could say the same thing, but I would argue that if you have a more quality bourbon, you're adding more flavors to the wheel to choose from.
I would say the one thing about that is like if we're looking at the quality of the plant in blue agave, something that did pop into my mind from watching, I think, the harvesting of blue agave, and I want to get back to Carter's outline so he can kind of steer this ship. I know you don't want to use agave plants too young.
No, that's one thing I did have written down in here about one of them.
Okay, because that'll affect greatly if it's not mature. I forget what the flavor profile would take on, but it was an unwanted flavor, and I think off the top of my head, I want to say it's like you want to use it 3 years or older. So there is it might even be more than that. I'm not sure. Maybe Carter will correct me at some point, but there is. I mean, it's not corn. It's not like plant it one season, harvest it, a couple months, and slap it and make it into corn whiskey and whatever. It takes a long time to grow those plants.
Yeah. And really, the distillation process really is that easy. It's just slap. You slap it, boom, whiskey. Oh. All I know is that I want to be the guy who goes out in the field with the sharp machete, lobbing off those agave leaves to get the core pineapple-looking thing.
The heart?
It is just a big pineapple.
Yeah, they're cool.
I never thought about that. It's just a giant pineapple, essentially.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm ready for Carter's instruction.
I'm ready.
His curriculum. We're taking Tequila 11 with Professor.
Okay.
I'm ready for
the thing is that it's not necessarily about the history of tequila. It's more about the
gun bottles.
It's about the bottles.
Why the gun bottle is so popular.
I don't need history. I need now.
I bought first one coming up is Don Julio.
I bought is it George Clooney that owns the tequila brand?
He does. Well, he doesn't own it anymore, but yes.
Okay. The Dos Amigos, Con Amigos, Casamigos.
Casamigos.
Combine them.
Are we going to have the Rocks tequila on this episode? Yeah, is that it?
Terramana.
It sucks. Are you saying that celebrity spirits in general are just not good and you should stay away from them? And possibly at some point we might do a future episode on celebrity brands and see if they're any good?
I don't know, Dylan. I think that's exactly what he's saying.
Man, I never thought about that.
So here we have our professor pouring us the first bottle. Are we going to keep it anonymous, or are you going to tell us after the curriculum, or are you going to tell us right away? Right away.
He doesn't care.
Yeah, because I can't see the bottle.
It's clear.
I choose not to look. He's put the bottle into my eyes.
Oh,
I still actually didn't even see what it was.
It's got an accent on it.
Oh, I've had this one. Yeah.
So lay it on to us, Carter. Other than tequila has to be made in Mexico. What we doing?
Sorry, I want to interject one more time with Dylan. Look how he's nailed the pour. This is the perfect amount.
It's only taken 3 years.
Only. This is the perfect amount of spirit in my glass for tasting. Good job, Carter.
First up, the brand is Corazon. And the neat thing about this, so it's Corazon Añejo, but they finish it in George cheesesteak.
For the listeners, what is Añejo?
Añejo is an aged tequila.
And that,
Is there a minimum age?
I don't think
I
there's a
think it's a
minimum age. I think
range.
it's usually about a year.
yeah,
This one is 22 months though.
Okay.
2 months.
Yeah, because I've seen different ranges. Some they age it for a year, some age it for 2. I feel like a year is usually the normal.
Minimum, yeah. I bet there's just a guy named Añejo and a guy named Reposado, and they just take claim over whiskeys or over tequilas.
This
They
is
just-
mine.
They're just like, yeah, that's an Añejo.
And a reposado is basically just a younger aged añejo.
Yep.
And then
But it's not blank. It's not white tequila.
no, it's not white tequila, so it's got a little bit of color. The interesting thing about this añejo is that it does not have a lot of color.
Mhm.
Right. It kind of looks like
That is unique.
I've been making a lot of pour overs at work just because I haven't. When I come in, I'm like one of the only people there, and I don't want to make a full pot.
Yep.
So I just make a pour over, and when you rinse out the coffee filter for the first time before you put coffee in it, it takes on that kind of color. It's like very straw. It's a straw color.
Very straw. The interesting thing about this is that I don't know if I'm saying this expressiones. The line that this is from, they all are aged in Buffalo Trace product.
From the BTAC line.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it's all George T. Stagg, William LaRue Weller, Eagle Rare 17.
Yep.
Elmer T. Lee. So that kind of stuff. It's just really interesting.
And we found out that this is actually owned by Sazerac.
Yes, it's owned by Sazerac. Imported by them. Each of these is a single barrel.
Oh, really? That's cool.
So they're only have a certain amount of bottles per barrel. So, and then a little bit about Corazon itself from their website. So I don't know if there's any liberties from this, but you can only get so much information.
Right.
From what I got, it's that they've been creating tequila for over 130 years in Jalisco, Mexico. Every part of the process happens at the family-owned distillery in Casa San Matias, and that's where the owner, Carmen Villarreal, oversees the production. So oversees everything. Also, Corazon means heart in Spanish.
All right. So the producer of this or CEO of this company has like a pretty hands-on approach to the development of this.
I don't know if it's necessarily CEO.
I think it's
Or-
more so just like
Who would you say that Villa?
Carmen Villarreal.
Yeah, who is he or she?
Owner.
Owner. Okay, so not necessarily CEO, but the owner has a direct hands-on approach.
Yeah, and I don't necessarily know if that's the owner of the distillery or if that's like, which I would assume it would be owner brand, but I don't know how that would
Mhm.
work because since they're owned by Sazerac.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it might be. Yeah, it might be. I don't know exactly the relation, but it could just be a.
It was a little bit of
purchased
a
them.
it was a little bit of a copy and paste
Yeah.
from their website, but I would assume it would be pretty legit if it was from their website. But yeah, that's pretty much what I got.
What's the percent on this? Is it 40?
Everything's 40.
Everything's 40.
Yeah.
Because I mean, tequila doesn't seem like it gets above that very
It
often.
does to some like it can.
Right.
But yeah, you'd be hard pressed to find normal like stuff that's over 40. Most of it is 40. Every once in a while you'll find, I know there's one that's 110 proof that it's actually really good. It does not drink like 110 proof.
Mm-hmm. So, do you know any of the history on why tequila makes you take your clothes off?
Because tequila's makes you take your clothes off.
Okay.
It's like a natural law
Natural
of
law.
the universe.
Yeah,
awesome.
it's like when tequila was just originally made, it's like this is gonna make you take your clothes off.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like somehow
I think it's a government warning on
Yeah.
the side of the
it
label.
is. It literally is.
Do not ingest if you are pregnant. Also, this will make you take your clothes off.
Just make you take your clothes off.
Thank you, U.S.
Okay.
Attorney General.
You guys ready?
Yep.
So ready.
Buttery. Oh,
That's really good.
it is.
That's really creamy.
It's got like a creamy cotton candy, but also like
That's what's unique about tequila is the sweetness is not Doesn't taste like sugar. It doesn't taste like molasses. It doesn't taste like an artificial sweetener. It's its own cool, unique thing.
I get a little bit of like orangey citrus.
Yeah, I take back the cotton candy, but it's like an almond joy. It's like coconut. I'm getting coconut from it's coconut, but it's a sweetness like that coconut has been used in the process of making into some sort of candy product.
Mm-hmm.
So subsequently, like an almond joy.
Candied coconut.
Candied coconut.
I like that expression.
Man, that stuff is good.
I agree with that.
I haven't had this stuff in a while. It's really good.
Oh, that's what I'm looking. It's like an almond milk. It's like a creaminess of the almond milk.
Mm-hmm.
But also that's almond milk sweetness, kind of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Which is usually added
Yeah.
with sugar.
Hey, I'm lactose tolerant.
Tolerant?
Yeah, I'm tolerant.
Yeah, I tolerate lactose as well.
I do.
Yeah.
I'm very tolerant of lactose.
I put up with so much lactose.
Yeah.
Oh man, it's good.
I've had this before. Putting a more what's the phrase I'm thinking of when you're like scrutinizing it? Putting it under scrutiny.
Microbiotics.
I'm putting it under the magnifying glass.
Yeah,
Put it under a microscope.
it's hard to say that it's extremely amazing. This is better when you don't think about it, I guess is what I'm trying to say. I think the more you try to grab at the flavors, it doesn't taste as good. Because it's not very complex. It tastes very simple to me.
So are you saying that just like because in my mind, like tequila for me is just like, I think it's just not my preferred spirit, but I can appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
And I do like this. This is pretty good.
Yeah, I just find it difficult to really get a whole lot of discernible flavors.
I feel like this one is hard because with it being mixed in that bourbon barrel as well,
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of got like a little bit of that clash.
I wonder what's pulling from the bourbon barrel. You
can taste a little oakiness.
I still would I'd like to know side by side, but I could infer the benefit of the barrel impact when I'm tasting it.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's more of just like kind of a
Advertising
kind of gimmicky thing that they do.
100% it is.
But it's still kind of fun.
It's like, I got tequila that had George T. Steak in it.
Oh, how much did you pay for the bottle? $100? Yeah, this bottle's $100.
Yeah, I don't know how I feel about that.
Whereas everything else on that lineup is 2 times less. Well, actually, no, I lied. The black bottle is, but
2 times less.
uh-huh.
Well, anything else on this George T. Steak tequila?
I got nothing to add.
I'm actually excited about this next one because I'd never heard about it until I went to. I'll just save it, I guess.
I mean, it's good. It's just not.
This is a good like nightcap tequila. It is easy to drink. I like the low proof. I think it's really flavorful for being only 40%.
I have found myself hovering towards lower proof spirits lately and enjoying them way more than I normally would. I feel like, lower proof bourbons, some rums, which we'll talk about.
Yeah, it's just because you can drink more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the main reason I don't like low proof spirits is just because normally the higher proof stuff just carries with it a lot more flavor.
Mm-hmm.
And more importantly, more important for me, sometimes it's the mouthfeel.
Yeah.
That the 40% really does not carry is that nice mouthfeel. It's most of the time it's watery.
Thin.
It's thin.
Yeah. Yeah. And I love the viscose quality, the thickness of a higher proof spirit.
Mm-hmm.
It's just, it grabs the tongue better. It has like a satiating quality to it where like you feel it in your gut. It's like, yep, that's a thick drink.
Right. This one's more present on the nose. Yeah, like a little pepper.
Absolutely.
Oh, pepper.
What is this one, Carter?
Okay, this is Maestro Dobel Diamante. So this is not.
I believe Alex drove that.
Yeah.
This is not a normal bottle. This isn't a normal because they have a Dobel Diamante normal. This is a single barrel.
And that's the difference is single barrel versus
That's all it is that. So the guys from a local liquor store that we go to went to the distillery and handpicked the bottles, like handpicked the barrel.
okay.
The weird thing about this, so it was handpicked by the staff. This is probably one of my favorite tequilas right now. It is really good. It's really got a funky flavor that I feel like a lot of tequila doesn't get because it kind of gets that, like you're saying, the spiciness on the nose, and you kind of get some of that in the palate as well. Like it's like peppery, but also like kind of a little smoky. But it's not a mezcal. I mean, it is a tequila, but it's very interesting how they make this. They blend extra añejos, and reposados, which gives it its flavor. And then they have a proprietary filtration system that they put it through to remove the color, but to leave the complexity and the smoothness.
Makes me curious. Say what's
with chill filtration.
Yeah, chill filter, but it's proprietary.
I don't know if it's
Proprietarily chill.
proprietarily chill,
Well, I think it's stripping color out, so it might be charcoal.
but that's why they call it a diamante and not a blanco, because
Maybe
it's technically
lasers.
not.
What's diamante mean?
Well, it's
Diamond.
diamond.
Oh,
But the reason why they call it a diamante tequila is because it's technically not a blanco. Like it's got no color. It's a clear
Right.
spirit
yep.
because it's aged, but they stripped the color out of it. So they call it a diamante.
Yes. Did it say on the website? Sorry, repeat the website. Nothing. Why they filter it for the color? It's just for the color to be clear.
I think they just strip
For
it because
funsies?
for funsies. I don't know. I mean, I could take a look
It says for the lulls.
The lulls.
for
In
craps
the
and
internal
giggles.
business documents, it's like this is our proprietary for the lulls filtration system. Yeah, I mean, I haven't tasted it yet, but this the way you describe it, this might change my mind of my first statement of this podcast. I said that tequila, kind of tastes the same. I just did varying quality or varying amounts of quality is what people discern. The way this might be different.
It might.
So
Shall we try it?
we shall. I have not changed my mind.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I'm like, ah!
This still tastes like core tequila. But yeah, I do. Yeah,
That's
you
good.
said it does have this funk.
It's got a funk.
It's got a funk to the smell and I don't like how it smells. I'm gonna be honest.
Oh, really?
I think I hate how it smells because it is unique, but it's not very approachable. It's very sulfur like. I get a lot of sulfur on the nose. It just smells like bad in a rotting way.
Really?
Mm-hmm. It's like very vinegary, very sour. If tequila could expire, this tequila has expired.
I mean, the taste to me is, what would you say, 90% similar?
To the last one?
Yeah.
No, I wouldn't say it's. I think we're more in like the 70% ballpark because that one was so indiscernibly smooth that this one isn't. This one's really peaky on the palate. Totally has smokiness that was not present on the first, despite being finished in bourbon for a charred oak barrel.
That's amazing because I'm not finding any of the smokiness.
Yeah, no, I would say this is wholeheartedly more smoky, and it also kind of to me it's a little more vegetally fibrous. Tastes like I'll just say cauliflower because that's the vegetable I've had. It's that stocky vegetable I've had most recently.
Stocky
for lunch.
Yeah, so they're not the only people that are doing this.
But you said it's proprietary.
Their filtration might be proprietary, but
So-
not filtering tequila is proprietary.
This is a blend of multiple barrels that they then.
So it also goes by a different name. It's
Is this the single barrel one we're talking about?
Yeah.
So they blend multiple barrels.
or maybe it's not a single barrel, but it's like handpicked, whatever.
It's maybe a hand-picked mixture of barrels.
And then they filter out the color.
Which it does say in this article that it's most likely charcoal filtering.
Yeah.
but they also call it Cristalino tequila. Which I guess it would be like crystal, kind of clear
Mhm.
crystal.
Yeah, I'm not a huge fan. It is unique, just like the other one was unique, but not for me.
If there's a price savings on this one, then I'm leaning towards this one.
It's $40.
Yeah, than the $100 one, because there's not,
Mhm.
to me, a discernible difference to justify the price difference. And I would agree. My current thought is that the reason it's $100 because it has the word George T. Stagg on it.
Yeah. They also claim that this was the first tequila to have used that process to strip the color to make it clear.
Good for them. Doesn't do anything.
No, it takes flavor away.
Mm-hmm. There's nothing good.
I'm sorry. I'm not trying to poke. I'm not making fun of you, Carter.
I don't care.
Okay.
I could imagine that this maybe tasted bad without charcoal filtering. This could have been a rancid tasting.
So I've always, I wish I knew more or I'd brushed up on this, but I always thought that it was only somewhat recently that the whole barrel aging has started to become more popular. Like, it's always been around, but I think they're becoming older and older.
Mhm.
When just looking at the scope of tequila. Like, it never seemed to be that old of a aging process, or the time that took. It was just to mingle and then get it out. But I think now, since the whole whiskey industry has grown so much, that the barrel there's almost more people are wanting barrel aged products.
Mhm.
And I think it seems like tequila is kind of trending towards that. Not in the same time frame given, but it seems like it's increasing over time. But I feel like I do remember seeing in some videos where they were talking about tequila and in some podcasts that traditionally it's always been about highlighting the agave plant and always mostly being new make to highlight the quality of the agave and the craftsmanship of the new make.
Mhm.
So I mean, to me, it seems like it's just not.
It's polarizing. You have people that are prioritizing new make for being the purest,
Right.
and then you have people prioritizing using heavy aging process
Well, and yeah.
to sell. And you that's exactly what happens every time when you argue about, do you age it? Are you a purist or are you a alternative?
And I might be wrong on that, but I recall watching something that was highlighting that it's always been more of a spirit that's focused on the approach and the nuances of the plant and less about the barrel aging, which is obviously where we kind of drive our preferences from.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I mean, it's not bad. We're not saying it's bad. It's just like, it's good tequila, but I'm not really in the mood for tequila most of the times.
Sure.
Makes sense. Yeah, you got to be really in the mood for it. It's got very particular.
It's good. I like it.
Yeah, I don't know who I would recommend this to. I'd probably recommend this to someone who...
That's more you got to know that you like tequila to really like that.
Yeah, or just that. I mean, to me, this is different enough from other tequilas where I can be like, hey, I got something different to try. You know, something in my bar that I don't really pull out for myself.
Mm-hmm.
You want to try it?
I have been a fan. Brooklyn, we always talk about Brooklyn. Brooklyn would always use kind of higher quality tequilas when he made margaritas.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that did show through. Like, I think it helped in the end product.
For sure.
And I do love myself a good high quality cocktail. Like, if we're talking like an old fashioned, we're using like some nice bourbon.
Yep.
Or something like I think once in a while, somebody was talking about making old fashions with Booker's. I think I did that once. You know, nothing wrong with that.
That makes it good.
It's really good.
Yeah.
There was a lady, and this is, you know, some account I heard from podcast. There was a lady that worked alongside Booker No, and this they were doing this event, and one of the attenders came up to Booker, and it was a lady. It was like, Booker, I love your bourbon, but I can't. It's so hot, I can't drink it neat, but I love it in Coke.
Mm-hmm.
Is that wrong? And Booker looked at me like, you got the best bourbon in the world, and you put it in Coke. You know what that gives you? The best bourbon in Coke.
Mm-hmm.
I just love that mentality. I think really holds true. That's like if you're fine using that spirit in a cocktail, it's going to make a good cocktail.
Yeah, but only if she was using Mexican Coke. Otherwise it was sullying. She sullied the bourbon.
Right.
Needs to be 2 high quality ingredients. Yeah, I'd like to move on.
Okay. This next one is one of the ones I couldn't find a whole lot of info.
Okay, I'm excited. So this next one I'm excited about because it's got a lot more color on it.
You a colorist? You like amber?
Is
amber the color of your energy?
I think the darker the spirit gets, the more parallel with my personality it gets.
Have you ever heard that Leonard Cohen song, You Want It Darker?
You Want It Darker? No. I think you sang it once, though.
It's terrible. It's a terrible song. Like, it's just not good.
Oh, I think you did actually sing this.
Yeah.
I think I have recording of it somewhere.
Sure. I mean, I like it because I found it during like a long road trip. And during long road trips, that's when you get into those deep playlist cuts.
Yep.
And this became one of them.
Yes, Daddy.
So that's just Dylan's personality. He likes it darker. He kills the flame.
Okay.
This one has a stronger nose to it.
Yeah, this one smells weird.
I love how this smells.
So this one was Tequila Revolucion Anejo.
Viva la revolution!
So this one was brought back to me from Mexico. My parents had gone to Mexico earlier
Oh yeah,
this year, and they brought this back. They're in the airport.
I think they brought this and a rare breed, non-chill filtered 1 liter.
Yes,
I have one of those. It's good.
But this tequila is made in a traditional distillery
Cinnamon.
in El Arenal, Jalisco, Mexico. And this is where I got to the blue agave. It is made using the finest Weber blue agave. It takes 7 to 10 years to fully mature.
That's the whitest blue agave name I've heard.
My name is Chad.
So I was off by that, but I was right that it takes a long time for agave plants to mature.
Yes. I believe. Also, I do believe this is a Mexico exclusive, and I think to buy it, you have to buy it online, and then it gets brought over into the States. Super weird, like earthy flavor.
Yeah, the nose on this is superb.
I was gonna say it smells like rain, like petrichor.
If I remember, it's like it is like grass.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Very
it does have grass on it. Also, it's got a lot of cinnamon for me.
Mm-hmm. Let's I say we dig into it.
Sorry, I love how this smells. I think this is the best one yet.
It does have a really nice smell.
All right, now we're getting somewhere.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Exactly what we said on this last one is like we want stuff with barrel influence.
Yeah.
We're getting there.
It's got barrel influence.
Yeah.
Heavy. I don't know what it's aged in, because when I go on the website or try to find any information on it, doesn't really give me a whole lot. It's either all in Spanish or
Oh, that's so grassy. I mean,
it is.
Did you guys?
There's a funk to it.
It's a funk.
Did you guys ever eat dandelions?
No.
Never tried?
I feel like I did.
I might
once.
have.
I mean, like the natural, like you're in elementary school, or you're at playing recess, and the one kid is like, "Hey, did you know dandelions are edible?" And it's like, "No way." He's like, "Yeah, way."
I'll challenge that.
I'll
put my life
eating a
in their
dandelion.
hands.
Anyway, that's how it was for me. They are edible. Wouldn't you know?
Actually,
like
I think
most plants.
I think I ate. I ate dandelions because I was in like this class thing at a nature center by our house,
Mhm.
and we picked what was it, stinging nettles?
Oh yeah,
But if you boil the stinging
Yep,
nettles,
and make tea.
you can make stinging nettle tea
It's
because
delicious.
it's really good. Actually, it's super good. And then I don't remember what else we took, but we wound up making stir fry out of stuff that we
Really?
found. Yeah, like foraged. It was really good. It was actually really cool.
Yeah, I mean, did you know you can eat leafy greens? It's
Oh my
crazy.
God.
What?
Did you know that you could eat poison oak?
What?
It will just hurt a lot.
I bleed inside.
So anyway, I was saying dandelion because yes, this is so grassy, so stocky.
Yep.
So I love it.
it's got pepper to me. It does have a little bit of the cinnamon, but it's not super present as far as dominating notes. But it's so grassy.
But it still has that underlying tequila flavor.
Yeah, the buttery creaminess.
Yeah, where it kind of like separates itself, but it's got more of that punch, a bit more bite to it.
This is my favorite so far.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this one's really good.
Me too.
Mexico, you're doing it good.
Yeah, a little bit of pepper
Bit of pepper.
in the back end. Yeah.
What's the price on this?
I don't remember.
I suppose you wouldn't know. It was a gift. It doesn't matter. You can't get it here anyway.
Well, you have to fly down to a resort.
Right. So that's
And
Stay
then
in
stay
Mexico.
there for a
that's
week
at least
and then fly
even
back.
on sale or with flyers miles. That's going to be $500 to $700
Yeah.
one way.
It's about $1,800 because you have to plan the trip.
But you get a resort out of it.
That is true.
Get a,
Yep.
a 3-day stay at least.
And if you do an all inclusive, you just get wasted. Because everything is included
Yeah. And on the way back, you can buy this tequila.
when you're sick of alcohol.
Yeah, for other people.
Yeah.
Be likey.
Yeah, I'm actually glad you guys like this one. For when I first got it, I was like, man, I don't know if I like this.
Mm-hmm.
Because it was so different from any other tequila I had. And I was like, this is kind of gross. Like, it's got a little too much barrel influence for my liking for a tequila.
I definitely want to do a mezcal episode at some point because I find it interesting because those can use a whole range of different agave plants,
Mhm.
Yeah.
which definitely would be interesting to find a different select mezcal.
That's what we definitely need Hunter for. Because he's also, he's the
Right.
mezcal king
Homeboy
in our
likes
local
some
friend group.
mezcal.
I include him in our friend group, though I don't think I've seen the man in probably 3 or 4 years.
He's mezcal.
He's
guy.
exploring the mezcal regions.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, you guys ready for this next one?
As ready as I'll ever be.
I know Zach has had this one too.
Same as it ever was. How's it going, Zach?
It's going good. Work is good. I'm at a creative part of my career learning. It's a really deep dive into some troubleshooting and diagnosis. Learning some PowerShell scripting.
Oh, yeah.
That's fun. PowerShell's cool. I am getting more familiar with Windows Server, the operating system.
Interesting.
But to be honest, like, the more I learn about these server utilities, all it makes me want to do is host game servers.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what started the whole thing for me. It was like my love of playing multiplayer games with my friends. Was like, okay, well, I got to get this thing. Because like the first server ever that I tried was a Minecraft server, and then the second server that worked really well actually was Mordau. Do you remember Mordau?
Mm-hmm.
That came with the server client with the game, so you could just port forward your game or your computer, open up the client locally, and then you were pretty much set as long as you configured it correctly in your firewall settings. But anyway, that's what's up.
That's pretty cool.
Learning new things.
Learn a new thing.
It keeps life interesting. How about you?
Slowly dying.
Slowly dying. I do wonder, like, I mean, the imperfect body will eventually fizzle away, but like, is that first part of your life like really like how it's supposed to be growth wise? Like, because they say you stop aging at 25 or whatever. And then I think of the movie In Time
With Justin
with
Timberlake.
Justin Timberlake.
Start stealing time from each other.
I mean, all I'm talking about is like you've reached the peak of your human potential at that age.
You know, the problem with that movie is everyone was beautiful, though.
Right? Yeah, they're not just all 25.
No one was overweight.
Yeah,
No one was underweight.
yeah,
Everyone was very toned.
yeah.
They're gorgeous people.
No one, yeah.
This was written by
No one had any like hair problems.
right.
Very interesting.
That might have been a culling before the institute of this, because I mean, it's all genetics, right? This was genetic mutation to stop them aging in the first place.
Right.
They never explain it, but that's what I'm saying. Like, for this movie to even be somewhat scientifically possible, they probably did some gene editing and made designer.
To be
they're all
honest,
designer babies.
out of a lot of movies, that one probably should get a second one. I think it's about time. That one is kind of merged into the realm of cult classic.
Well, that's just because it has Cillian Murphy in it. Any Cillian Murphy movie deserves a second sequel.
But I think it was an interesting premise.
Yeah, but they kind of wrapped it up pretty nice.
I don't actually.
No,
remember.
they didn't. I mean,
I thought they left it pretty open.
No, they. It was good. It was a great ending because you could treat it as the end of the story, but they could have continued. Because the end of the story is they don't corrupt. They crash the system of the time bank.
Yeah. So what the heck does that do?
Right.
Everybody
This
dies.
is a time baby.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys
Interesting.
ready? You guys ready for this? This is the Cava de Oro Extra Anejo Black Barrel.
Ooh, it's got like syrup on the nose.
Yeah. I remember really liking this. Like, really.
This is so
liking
much. This is the best nose so far. 10 out of 10 IGN.
Would do again.
Tequila is adequate.
Top.
All right, what can you tell us about this thing?
So the factory.
Factory.
That's a factory. It's found on the tequila route.
There's a route? Really?
Yeah.
It's like the bourbon. It's like the bourbon
So
trail.
does it go? So
No,
distillery.
like seriously, it goes like distillery to distillery.
Cartel checkpoint. Distillery. Cartel checkpoint.
Distillery.
Refugee
Sketchy
camp.
doctor.
Sketchy doctor. Coca-Cola factory.
Coca-Cola
Free
factory.
kidney transplant.
Free boob job.
Dentist.
Dentist.
And then the
And then the
plantation.
Yes.
Yeah. Hello, senor.
CCC. So this is the first one that's found on the route.
Okay.
It's Cavadillo.
Really?
So they were started 22 years ago.
So
That's
not old.
Not
by
old.
Spirit standards.
No, not like compared to some of the other ones where they've been around for a long time.
Yeah.
Like 100 years ish. At least the distillery has been in production. Not necessarily the brand, but the distillery.
Yeah. Turns out Mexico's been around for a while.
Yeah, I know. That's crazy.
Did you know they made a new one?
No. That's news to me.
Have you heard about? I think I was talking about this at work at some point. Like, you know what? To get around, tequila can only be made in Mexico. Is we have New Mexico. We
Mhm.
need new tequila.
New tequila.
And then we can get around the tequila thing.
Yeah.
It's a different brand.
And start
Yeah.
making
It's a whole
the
different
new
thing.
tequila
Product,
in New Mexico.
So dumb.
And you just you get rid of all those cease and desists that Mexico sends. And you just forward them right back to them.
Mexico would be like, "You're taking our national
They're
spirit."
like, you calm down, or otherwise we'll send Texas down to you.
I'd be more impressed that Mexico just has a national entity that handles those things.
Yeah.
Like, it's not the government, it's not the distilleries, it's just Mexico serves a cease and desist.
Yeah,
Mexico serves
the
a
whole
cease and
country.
It's like, how did you do this?
desist. Hello, senor.
You know,
Si, senor,
Um,
you must stop doing this.
actually, we probably shouldn't send Texas out at them because remember we lost a piece of Texas to them at
Yeah.
first.
Alamo,
Okay.
Remember
dude.
the Alamo?
Okay, let's see.
We'll send Georgia.
And we got
No,
a
no,
pass.
no, 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 no. Florida. Let's send all of Florida.
All the
That would-
crackheads.
That would.
they,
I mean,
they wouldn't know what to do.
well, here's my reasoning. Okay, the what's that? The Germans in Blitzkrieg, they would give like drugs to all of their soldiers.
Yes, they gave them methamphetamines.
Yes, all of Florida is already that. So you could send Florida
Yeah.
into them. It's essentially like the same thing.
Mhm.
I'm not saying that people should do that. I'm just saying there's a similarity that could be drawn.
Yes.
and the conclusions have been made.
Did you know that methamphetamines were actually sold over the counter in Germany?
Oh yeah, I mean in a lot of places, I'm sure.
But like that blew my mind when I learned that. It's like, what? They just sell meth over the counter?
They would give them to pilots too and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways,
yeah. So the founders of this, they were influenced by their parents when they started planting, harvesting, cultivating, and marketing agave. So they kind of started getting into that sort of, realm of things.
on this.
And from that, they moved into making what?
I'm smelling at him.
Oh, started making spirits and that kind of stuff, and then which led them to start experimenting with new flavor profiles.
Okay.
And one of the profiles that was made when I guess he was an engineer, it was Gildardo Partida.
Oh gosh, you cannot say it like that. Like, I know you're struggling with it, but
what do you mean?
This is nothing.
Is it racist?
It's charged against linguistics. Like, it's
okay. Do you want to read it then?
This is linguistically challenged.
Well,
I'm only as smart as I've been taught. I can only do so much.
It's a true statement, though. I mean, the American education system has not done everyone justice.
It's
a hard name.
No, I'm no longer on that. I'm not even thinking about that. The phrase "I'm only as smart as I've been taught" is so profound. It's funny. I find it very humorous.
It's wisdom, actually. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yes. Basically, we got Engineer Man and Tequila Master Alberto. Alberto. Yes. You want to read it?
Alberto.
Yeah.
Developed the new flavor profile using red wine barrels. And in 2010, they accredited themselves to pioneering the tequila in the top of bottles.
So this is wine finished.
It's sherry finished, yeah.
Here's my question: is the tequila makers primarily use like one type of still, like a column versus pot, or do we kind of see?
I think it's a copper pot still.
Copper pot, and is there variety in there like we see in American spirits, or is it just pretty much like one type of still?
I'm not 100% sure.
Oh my goodness. I don't know why that got me.
Was it the I'm only as smart as I've been taught?
Oh,
Is it really that funny?
This has a lot of wine in it. Like 50% wine.
I found this to be very dessert-like. It's just sweet beyond belief.
There's a lot of wine in that.
You can like taste the wine.
Yes. It's completely changed the characteristic of the spirit.
It kind of turns into like a really brown sugar.
Yeah.
It's really sweet.
It's cool.
Holy cow.
It's not.
I don't dislike it. It's just different. Like, it's not. I don't know if I would tell if somebody was asking for tequila recommendations.
I'd certainly say this.
Yeah, but this to me is what the Basil Hayden's Dark Rye would be. I mean, yes, it has rye whiskey in it, and yes, it's got port, so it's not like a finished, and it's good, but it's not like it's not a true whiskey, I guess is what I'm saying. In the same means as like this is, it's within the category, but it's kind of skirting the lines as far as that goes. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, lines are meant to be skirted. That's what I'd say. It's nice. I really enjoy this.
It doesn't drink like tequila.
Oh, it's quite thin. It's very. It does not drink like tequila. I agree.
Oh my goodness,
if we had this first though, I think we would have really liked it. I think we started off with this,
and I do like this. It's just, kind of a left turn.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's definitely you have normal tequila, normal tequila, normal tequila, and it's like, woo!
Yeah, like I wouldn't. We've had 4 half-quarter glasses. I wouldn't want to drink 2 glasses of this. Like
No.
one and done.
It gets really,
Yeah.
it gets to be too much.
It like stains my tongue.
It sticks around a long
Mhm.
time. I do think that this would be better if you're having like a dessert. You could pair it with like a nice dessert, something like that. It would be really good with that.
This could be like your, what is, I don't know what the word, Nick's got me completely confused on the actual term or like the usage of the word for this, but the, like a post-dinner, drink. I forget what that's called though.
Is that an aperitif or is an aperitif the
I think an
before dinner?
aperitif was before. But Nick kept using that term, and he was using it wrong.
That sounds
now
right.
Every time I hear it, I'm like, I don't know if I'm using it right.
Yep. If you say confidently and enough times, it just becomes correct.
What was that name he said then?
No, I'm not saying that again. That was really bad. I knew when I typed that out, I was like, I'm gonna butcher this name.
Well, there's nothing wrong with mispronouncing a name. It's the putting a dialect on it that gets me.
That's I mean, you gotta do it sometimes. Right?
I just felt like
No.
I was what I had to do.
He felt it.
He felt it.
Hello, senor.
Hello, señor. I'm curious now. 1 second. What does it say? Oh, it's a digestif. Is the after dinner.
Yeah.
And
Makes
then,
sense.
Like aperitivo
Is it
Before.
before?
is the
dinner?
before
Yeah.
dinner.
To me, this would be like that.
Digestive.
Digestif.
Just
like a steak. Like you have a steak dinner or like a meat
digestivo.
dinner, potatoes. Maybe not potatoes, but like green beans. I'm thinking for something. And it is like the counter sweetness.
Sure.
Basically, it's just supposed to help your tummy
Sure.
digest.
Yeah, I disagree
It's
with the
interesting.
pairing, but yeah, this is definitely an after you eat something, have this. This is not because this will ruin what you're about to eat.
Yeah,
That's for sure.
No, this is like my last.
You
it'd be, like,
need
the last thing
something
after the meal.
really like strong to go with this. You need like a cheesecake to go with this.
You said cheesecake
Yeah,
last
but
time.
this time,
But this time it makes
I'm
sense.
completely
yeah, but now I'm
agreeing.
trying to figure out why. Like you.
Okay, because I like cheesecake.
There's nothing wrong with that. I'm with Carter. Like 100%.
Just the sweetness and like the kind of tartness of the cheesecake would balance it out.
Yeah. Nice cheesecake in this.
Okay, let's do this last one.
I'm watching Mr. Cheesecake Guy.
Can't say this dude's name right.
Yeah. Here, let me just say my piece, and we'll finish the piece. I work with someone. He is Indian. He lives in India. His name is Ratnesh. When I talk to him, I don't call him Ratnesh. I do not say that, right? His name.
Yeah, but I didn't do it to be insensitive. I was doing it because I thought I was saying it right.
Right, but that's what I'm saying. He's got to be careful about the dialect, how you say it, Alberto. What's this R? Just call him Alberto. Just be white. Be white. That's all I'm saying. Say the name how you would say it as a white person. And Minnesota, English speaking. It's kind of like when you read, did you ever take, like a high school literature English class? You read those Greek poems or Greek books, like those are some crazy names. No one says those in a Greek accent, right? You just say them in English, Diogenes, Hercules.
I'm not up to speed on Greek accents. Like I'm not exposed to it, so I couldn't do that.
Yeah, you guys got to watch this Amazon Prime show. It's called The Durrells of Corfu. It's based on a real book series, which is based on a real series of events. And it's about an English family that goes to live on a Greek island. And they end up having a wonderful life because life is perfect in, early to mid 20th century Greece. Beautiful weather, no island fire. That'll date this episode. Someone will be like, island fires. What
the heck are they talking
What's
about?
going on?
Okay, my laptop died.
What's it called?
Oh my God.
Um,
Where are we without the outline?
this is the last one.
Yeah,
We're doomed.
I forgot what the dish is called, but it's just rice.
you talking about spam musubi?
Yes, It's just Spam, rice, and wrapped in
What
seaweed.
was with that accent?
And
I don't know. I guess it's cultural appropriation now.
yeah, according to Zach, it is cultural appropriation. Don't ask me to pronounce any Japanese name, by the way, that I've seen in an anime.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's gonna backfire on me
one day.
And it was super good. So you fry Spam, you cook rice, you wrap it in seaweed. It's delicious.
It is actually.
You
really
put Japanese mayo on it.
Now, what you got to do is you got to take the Spam and then you put, while you're frying it, put some teriyaki on it.
Ooh,
Yeah, so you fry it like with the teriyaki,
yeah,
or like do teriyaki with a little bit of cornstarch so that it kind of thickens up.
yeah.
And then it sticks to the Spam, and then you put it on, and then you do a little bit of seaweed in the middle. And man, it's so good.
Why are you not a chef?
Because I saw it on Instagram. Because I could not come up with that myself.
I mean, I don't think many chefs are that original.
Yeah, this is Casa Noble. I'm pretty sure that's right. This is also an anejo. Just something I saw in where was it that I saw this? St. Louis Park? At a Lunds.
In Mexico?
Yes.
Wow.
In Mexico. They have
St.
Louis
Yep.
Park.
They're very Catholic down there.
Very
so
Catholic.
I mean, well,
actually
Yes.
they are.
I think
Yeah.
they are. Yeah.
But yeah, I found this in the liquor store at the St. Louis Park, Lunds and Byerly's. If I remember correctly, this one is aged. It's an anejo aged 2 years. I don't think that there's any special. No, if I remember, it's new French oak is what they aged it in
Okay.
for 2 years.
it's the Glenlivet 12 of tequila.
Is it wine finish? Because I know
No,
no,
it's just new French
it's
oak.
new French. Okay. Yeah, I'd get cinnamon on the nose again.
Agreed.
Some earthy.
And their head distiller or the founder has his nickname is Pepe.
You get like a melon. You get like a melon on the nose. Like a cantaloupe.
Cantaloupe.
Again, the extra E.
Cantaloupe.
Oh.
I love recording myself while drinking. It's just, that's never a bad idea.
Yeah, it's only like just incriminate yourself.
I think this smells really
great.
good. We're kind of getting towards the end, so I think my nose is a little blasted.
It's a little flatter than our tasting.
We might have blown our palates out with the wine.
Yeah, that's probably what happened, but
It's got cinnamon on it. I like that.
probably should have saved the wine for the last one because it
Well,
was so intense.
That thing is so wine
But
heavy.
frankly, I had that one before at the dinner party, and it did not taste that sweet.
I don't remember
at
it
the
being
time.
that sweet either.
I mean, we weren't
so sweet.
we weren't drinking from Glencairns. We were just drinking from tumblers. So that could have played a small part, but
But like, man, that was like,
we were eating a lot of food.
that is true.
So yeah, just by itself, that Cava de Ora,
That's nuts.
it's too much.
Yeah, but your Cava de Ora that you brought, or was that the Adictivo?
No, I brought Adictivo.
But the Adictivo Extra Anejo is really good.
It's also
Same company,
hmm
different brand.
I find I blew my palate out because this, no offense, Casa Noble tastes like dirty dishwater.
See, that's what I thought. I didn't think it tasted all that good even before.
It has more of a baking spice to it, and the cinnamon comes through. So I would say that it does have more spices than the other ones,
Yeah, it's interesting.
which is French. I mean, French oak is notoriously spicy compared to American oak.
Yeah, I thought this one was interesting. It was one of those ones that
This one.
I had been basically the story was I had been trying to find the Cava de Ora Black Barrel because I was at a friend's house and I drank the last of their Cava de Ora, and the guy who had brought it to giving it to them wanted more, and I felt bad.
So you poured some Don Julio in there.
So I poured some Don Julio 1912.
Not Julio.
But no, because after the fact, I got a painting from him. Because he was trying to just get rid of them. I was like, Jeff, I can't just take this painting. I I got to give you at least something.
So you gave him a back rub.
I gave him a back rub, and it was very sensual, and it was good for both of us. It was good. No, but I told him, I was like, I will buy you a bottle of tequila because I know you like
So
this.
we're drinking his bottle?
No,
Yeah.
I gave him his bottle.
Oh, okay.
I had 3 of these bottles.
Oh, wow.
I like that stuff that much. The only problem is that it's really hard to find. It's $100.
This one?
Yeah. Not the Casa Noble, but the Cava de Oro.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I'll tell you that Jeff likes it so much that when I rep mine, I did a swap with someone. I took it wasn't that Cava de Oro, it was the regular Reposado. Or sorry, regular Añejo, not the extra Añejo. And I was gonna take it home because we traded. And then Jeff was like, "Oh, I love this one. Like, do you mind if I have this?" And I was like, "Of course, no problem, Jeff. Don't worry about it." But he wasn't trading. He's just like, "Can I have it?" So
He really likes extra Añejo.
yeah. So I didn't bring any tequila home, and he stole mine, and I'm happy for him.
Moral of the story.
And you got a painting out of it.
No, I got
He got a painting out of it. I got the satisfaction
Yeah.
of contributing to someone's joy
Jeff's
and happiness. Which really, that's what we're all here for, isn't it?
Yep.
Yes. It's better to give than it is to receive.
Yep.
So I haven't changed my mind
Yeah.
on the fact that I think that most of these tequilas do taste. Actually, I'll just say all these tequilas
Tequila-y.
they have that core flavor, and nothing really got the what's the middle one there? The grassy one from Mexico.
Avocados from Mexico.
Revolucion.
Yeah, the Revolucion.
What was the accent?
Yeah, the accent.
Hmm.
Yeah,
Hmm.
because that one it doesn't have a T.
Huh.
Doesn't have a T in it, so you have
Oh.
to say Sion instead of shun.
Oh, okay.
That's
I'll accept that.
that's my reasoning.
I'll
That
put
one
in
was
the show notes.
That one, yeah, in the show notes. That one was the most different, but it's still. It just
I mean, there's not much you can do when it's
Tequila's-
basically made out of just blue agave.
yeah, and you're right. I agree. I think being a 100% grain product, not grain. What is blue agave? What kind of
What does it fall under?
yeah?
root
What
vegetable?
category?
Is that category, or are you just saying that?
It's a bean.
It's a root vegetable. It's a legume.
It's in
Anyway.
the tomato family.
Anyway, yeah, fruit or vegetable. I don't know.
It's in the same family as the aloe plant.
Aloe vera.
That
Yeah.
actually is true.
That's awesome.
But I don't know where the
So you-
aloe vera plant falls in.
So when are they making
We can
aloe
we can make
aloe vera distillate?
Ugh.
Yuck.
Gets rid of your internal sunburn.
Agave is a type of succulent.
That's awesome.
What's another succulent though?
Succulents.
I don't know,
They're those plants you put in those teeny tiny pots, and they don't require like any water.
but they are not cactuses. They are different.
Just to clarify.
Learn the hard
Just
way.
a clarification on this
Let it be known.
But
on this
dis-
article. It says
di-
they are commonly confused with cactuses.
But despite that these are not wholly super different from one another. I really like tequila. I really like that Revolucion.
Yeah.
And I really liked the Cava de Oro. It just is not. You got to eat that or drink that with something to eat.
Mm-hmm. A lot of the
If
extra.
I had to
añejos
pick
you
one
do.
just to buy, I would buy the Diamante, that chill or charcoal filtered,
Really?
for $40. That one was really nice. Because out of all of these, well, I guess what's the price of? Because I can't get the Mexican one. Cava de Oro, that one's expensive,
Mhm.
and I didn't like the Casa Noble. So it's either I spent $100 on Corazon,
Or 1800 you fly down to Mexico.
yeah, or I spent $40 on the Diamante.
Which you can find. The normal Diamante you can find
Right.
So
in.
I'll be honest, the best tequila I had was a Don Julio finished
Yeah, but it was the nice Don Julio.
in Lagavulin casks.
Okay.
That sounds weird.
So it had a peat aftertaste.
Yeah.
That was the best thing I've had.
hmm
Never been able to find it. That was like 2017. I had it, and I've never come across one. But that was the best thing I had was like a tequila that was finished in like a pita barrel. Oh,
Mhm.
Where'd you even find that?
Tequila Butcher.
Ah,
Yeah. Well, I think we should land this plane, come back from our trip from Tequila, reassess.
and then we're gonna go to the Caribbean.
We're going to Jamaica.
Jamaica.
Jamaica,
I'm calling it Jamaica next episode. I'm not-
Jamaica, man.
Jamaica me crazy.
Jamaica me crazy.
So final thoughts, wrap up.
I like tequila, but it all tastes very similar.
I like bourbon better than tequila.
I like tequila because it's cheap.
Candy is dandy, liquor is quicker.
Sometimes.
Sometimes. Well, I think we've gotten through this episode. Everyone's got most of their clothes still on, which is good.
Mhm.
Never learned anything about the history of tequila shots.
Tequila shots are a party drink. Just go ham.
You didn't teach us anything about the song Tequila. Disappointed.
They just go do tequila.
No.
That's it.
Okay. But I do have an appreciation for tequila. I'm glad we did this episode.
I think it's good, but it's very specific.
All right, we're gonna actually end this one. Thank you for listening to this episode of the Whiskey House Pub House. Give us a follow on Instagram and follow us wherever you get your podcasts, such as Spotify or
Apple Podcasts.
Podcasts.
Yep. Follow us on those platforms.
SoundCloud. Check out my new raps. They're hot.
It helps us out. And if you got any suggestions, comments, or anything, you can message us on our Instagram, Whiskey House Pub House. And we'll see you on the next episode.
Buy mezcal instead.